Welcome to the Music Lens podcast with me, Alex Allegra.
And Katie Fee. How we doing?
We are doing.
We are doing.
It's nice and warm out finally. It's so gorgeous. I'm so excited.
It's a little too. The temp got turned up a little too much.
No, I love it.
It is 85 outside.
That's okay. That means we can go and wear shorts again.
70s.
My skin is so pale. It looks like it hasn't seen the sun in years.
I sat out on my patio yesterday, but then it got really windy, and I was like, we're just gonna see how long I can last. And then a bee came at me, and I said, nope, we're going inside.
I went to Dutch Bros this morning, and a hornet came right at our car as soon as she tried to take an order. So I had to roll up the window. I was like, I'm sorry, go away.
I had my AirPods in, and my group chat with the other two people at work was going off, and I could hear the reading the messages, and I was afraid it was gonna respond to it because I was going no about the bee.
Yeah.
It's oh, please don't send that.
Yeah. Hopefully you can't hear the gum chewing in the microphone because my dentist was like, I had a very expensive appointment last week, and so now
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
Get to chew gum after every meal that's specifically dental gum, and brush my teeth 24/7, and so yeah,
makes me think of the dentist bones for dogs.
I basically that's funny. Yeah, no. And Asher was gonna be downstairs here with us, but he is a little too rambunctious at the moment.
He got a lot of energy. He knocked me over.
He does that.
His head into my knee.
He does that too. Yeah. Trust me, that dog is just the most. What's the word? It's like bulletproof dog that you will ever fucking meet. He just walked right off the porch yesterday instead of going down the stairs because he looked over at something and just went down. He's just he gets right back. He's like a cat that lands on his feet. He is just hopefully that dog's okay.
He's fine. It's okay.
But yeah.
It's okay.
And one day he's gonna tear his ACL though, and we're gonna have to pay for that because he...
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. What have you been up to? I feel like we've batched a lot of content.
Gosh.
So we haven't actually had
we batched a lot of content because our
current type things of updates.
There was a week straight when literally every single day I had a photography shoot or a music concert or something that I was going to do. So we batched so much content because of things like that, and we always batch ahead for guests, obviously, to give them enough time, to give me enough time to go through everything. Apologies for a little bit of some technical difficulties. We didn't realize it was our third one of the day, and we didn't realize that Katie's phone storage had gone out.
I want a new phone for a new camera purposes, but also I want to I think I have the 256 or whatever gigabytes, and I want to go up to the 500 whatever.
Yeah, no, I did too.
That would definitely help us both camera wise and storage wise, so we don't run out.
We're getting to a point where all of us kind of need to have the 5 to 1 terabyte storage unless you have backed up your phone from years, because if you're an iPhone user, you've been an iPhone user, and we're 10 years down the line of having iPhones that all of that data is still on your phone from 2016 at this point.
To my laptop, but I need to go through and do that again, but it's a lot.
Yeah, so we have so much stuff that it's we were already back in the day deleting stuff to add more storage, and now it's how many years later, but yeah. And so it's been great. I've been getting a lot of requests actually for my photography stuff, so it's been really good. I got a couple messages that I need to answer today, but
I tagged you in
I saw that and I responded to that this morning, and and Sarah J. Maas was on Call Her Daddy, and so we're obviously fans of...
I have my Akatar Ghost crop that
I was going to wear Christmas, your Midnight Margaritas crop top today, but Brayden, the outfit I had just didn't look good, and Brayden was trying to be so nice. He was like, this is interesting, later if you want. And then I was like, no, this looks like shit. And he was like, yeah, I didn't want to tell you earlier. I was like, okay. It was the outfit. It wasn't the shirt. The shirt is so cute, but it was just the outfit that I had on just wasn't working. And so, it's because I need to do some laundry, but that's okay. I started the reread of A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I forget how much, because I was like, I don't need to reread them. I knew what happens. I know what happens in the last 2 books, which is, in the grand scheme of the world, not a lot, but I thought, I was like, oh yeah, I remember exactly where we're at. Which is fine, but I totally forgot that the first 3 is all about this war, and like I was like, oh my god, I forgot the whole first 3 books. I forgot where we came from, so I started the whole book over.
Yeah, I've been listening to the audiobook, so I'm on the most recent one audiobook wise, and then we were looking at this, I can't remember her name, it's like Unhinged Book Talk or something on Instagram. She made this whole map of the 3 universes and how they kind of combine, and I remember some of the people on there, I'm like, I don't know who this is, so it must be like a Throne of Glass person because I'm not done with that. And one was like Koshe, who's a sibling to Bone Carver and the Weaver, and I was like, I don't know who this is. I just got to his name in the book, and I'm like, oh, I don't remember all of that part of it. So
hot take is that I really didn't like the Throne of Glass series, and I know that's like a very controversial opinion for this world, but like ACOTAR I loved, but my favorite was Crescent City, and no one seems to love Crescent City as much, so I don't know if it's just like if you've been a fan for a long time maybe, and like you read Throne of Glass first or what it was, but like
special connection with that.
It's just not mine.
I'm just kind of reading it to get through it. Maybe I'll change my mind once I read more, but right now it's just kind of like I'm reading it just because I feel like I'm obligated to.
Yeah, no, it wasn't my favorite series. The last 2 books of the series are great, but is it worth reading 8 books to get to the last 2 to be like, oh, everything paid off in this nice little bow? No.
Well,
so
yeah.
But I also don't reread books a lot because I'm just like, oh, it's like shows for me. Like I have to wait enough time in a show unless it's like a comfort show, like a Friends or a New Girl kind of show. I have to wait enough time to kind of forget what happens in the show to like it again and be like, oh yeah, it's like I'm rewatching for the whole first time, which is normally like a 5-year period, if that, maybe longer, whatever. But like that is like what I like to do. And so I was like, oh my god, I still remember everything that happened in this book, which obviously I didn't. No. But also I was like, I've never reread a book before. Like, is this gonna hit like I want it to? So I was like, I don't know. So I started loving. This was so random. This has nothing to do with music.
Yeah. And then Rebecca Yarros is starting book 4 of the Empyrean series. So I mean, if she's just starting, probably won't be till at least next year. So I think there's going to be time for people who are like, now I have to reread all of Sarah J. Maas and Fourth Wing.
Luckily, I don't, because I just read Fourth Wing.
Maybe by the time it's out, though.
Maybe, yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah.
I can't believe it's already almost April, though, and I need to I have so much stuff to edit, you guys. I have so many, I still need to get out a thing for March. I have so much stuff to edit.
Yeah. Yeah, I went in the studio again, so getting that summer one figured out, and played some shows. By the time this comes out, we'll both have played New Faces, so yeah. Alex is playing, when we're recording, it will be this Tuesday. If you listen day of release, it will have been like yesterday.
Unfortunately, or else I'd promote it, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was fun. It was St. Patrick's Day, so wore green and did a whole little content thing of that. That was Alex just kind of... If you want a content manager, Alex has got... I just let her tell me what to do all night. It's fine. He's like, you know what? You just tell me what to do, and
I did feel bad. I like when Christian came in, I like grabbed him to go take it, and he was like, "What?" And I was like,
"Yeah, he just got there."
I was like, "No, come here."
You started walking away, I think, and I looked at him and said, "Follow her." Didn't
I was like, "This was me grabbing you to go. We were going this way."
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, it was a fun show.
Yeah. But there was a band before Katie's too that I was like, I really liked your guys' stuff, and then I was like, if you ever need a photographer, and they were like, yeah, and so now I have a gig with them too. So
yeah, so that worked out well.
Networking. Baby.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else has happened since we last recorded.
CRS happened, but we didn't really do anything, unfortunately, with
it's
CRS.
always, like, I think I remember them posting new faces, like, who's on new faces every year, and everything else just, like, for some reason I miss it, and then it's all of a sudden, it's like, oh, it's the week of, and it's too late to really plan
I forget just how early in the year it is, and I feel like, I don't know why.
It used to be February, and now it's March, so it's actually later now.
I just don't know if it's, like, I feel like maybe it's just the networks that I'm on aren't, like, as, I feel like there's no, like, big build-up for the week. Like, so the, like, there is, but there isn't. Like, I got invited to a couple things and, like, applied for a couple things, but then, like, didn't hear back, or, like, it was, like, oh, to kick off, but, like, I never knew exactly when it, like, officially started, and I'm sure if you're, like, in that world or in radio, you know exactly what's going on, but, like, from somebody who works primarily in, like, the touring industry, like, we had some lights and stuff like that had gone down, but I didn't even know about that until after it happened and was told to, like, hey, can you post about it? And I was like, oh. So I don't know if it's just the channels that I'm seeing aren't as, like, I don't see a lot of artists posting until, like, they're at the things, is what it is. Like, I don't see a lot of, like, hey, come to this. And it's mainly probably because it's a very industry-based thing. Like, you're getting invited to, like, now, some of the things are, like, there's some networking opportunities. Like, there's, like, there was a women's lunch this year, I think, before it. And then, like, there's some, like, performance lunches and you can buy tables, like, but they're pretty expensive. So it's, like, it's more like a, hey, your company buys a table kind of a situation instead of, or you can spend, like, a butt ton of money to, like, go and network yourself. Which isn't a bad thing by any means either. If you have the money to do it, like, it's a great opportunity. We learned a lot by going, but, like, we used to go through school, volunteering and stuff.
I know Cheyenne did, like, some sort of, like, show type thing, and then there was, like, a jam thing after the, like, set people, and they had, like, a DM for address on their story and stuff, but it was, like, the posts were too close in time to the actual event for people to really, like, plan to go, in my opinion, unless you live in town, and I don't. So if I lived closer, maybe I would have been like, oh, I should try and go to this.
But CRS, for the people, I guess we're talking about it, but it's the country radio seminar, so it's like a bunch of radio people come into town from all across the country. It's a way to network. It's a way to hear the next new singles that are coming out from artists. It's a way to get some exclusive interviews with artists for content for their shows. It's a way to host discussion panels for like what's changing in the industry and what.
There's always an artist interview thing, and this year it was Ella with Jody Messina, so both of them were in I can't think of what the actual word is. Not seminar. There's like an artist interview type thing though. Eric Church did it in 2020. Did we have CRS before COVID? Yeah. So I think it was 2020 that I got to see Eric, and because I was literally, my sole purpose was to make sure the doors didn't slam when people opened and shut them.
Yeah, so a lot of the volunteering that we did was just like guarding the doors and making sure they closed nicely.
But then you get to
watch a lot
stuff.
It's a great opportunity if you're here in Nashville or in like a college that like will send you to it. It's a great experience just to hear professionals talk about things. You meet a lot of people. I mean, don't get like starstruck or anything like that, but then I always loved working the new faces, which is like their big grand event at the end of it kind of a thing. But then you also can get opportunities. Like once I worked they had a bunch of songwriters rounds, and you get to hear some great songwriters, and sometimes there's extra food at the end of the night of all that stuff, and you get to eat and drink and have a good time, unless you're at Belmont and you don't drink because they get very mad about you about that stuff.
Even if you're off campus, you're not allowed, because it's you're there because of Belmont or like through Belmont. So
because like the one year was like a lot about women in country radio and stuff like that, so it was a good chance to hear like why people were speaking the way that they were and just like what their mindsets were. But again, you don't have to agree with it.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that in past episodes
for sure,
of their excuses for not playing women on country radio and all that stuff. So but yeah, and then what's the name now? It's Universal's rebrand name.
Oh,
MCA,
yeah.
I think is what it is. MCA always does like a formerly Universal does a thing at the Ryman one of the days where they just have a bunch of their artists perform, and it's cool because it's usually like newer songs that they're promoting. Skeletons, Brothers Osborne, I remember them playing that before that was out, and it was like, that's such a cool
Yeah.
hook of that song. And
It's also a good way for like I know some young artists will like set up a little booth and like then they can like show kind of
Right.
radio. It's like
Ian
a
did
good, especially when like radio tours were still a really big thing for young artists, which they've kind of died off a little bit, and it's a little harder to get your foot in the door that ways. But it was a really great way for like young artists to like set up and introduce yourself to all these radio people and give them your song and be like, here, play it on the radio.
Right.
So
Ian Munsick had a whole event at Boot Barn for Love is Blind, which is out. It'll be this Friday after this comes out. But it was just like a whole launch for the single because I think they're really trying to push that one for radio and stuff. So I saw all the videos and stuff for that. I hope that shirt is merch because it's really cute. It's a pretty color. But yeah, kind of just promoting singles that you're trying to push to radio because all the people from the different stations around the country are coming for the weekend.
exactly, yeah.
Try and just get them interested in playing your music, basically.
Especially
Get on their
because country
radar.
radio was and still is a very much like a meet face to face, put like to have a rapport going with people, and then they're more likely to. That's the which
That was
is
the whole point of when radio tours were more of a thing, was to like get that face to face time and try and win people over to play your music.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like
Well-
judging solely off the song, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, do I want to support this artist as a person, I guess.
yeah.
So yeah. But yeah. Anything else?
No, I think that's
Okay.
it.
I guess the only thing is I went home and went to Ian Munsick with my brother and sister-in-law, and I'm only talking about this just because this is where I got the idea for the topic that we're going in. But Jonathan Warren, Ian's fiddle player, he played on Whiskey and Sunsets, and I happened to run into him before the show and talk to him, and we were talking about the Pinnacle show that we went to and how Charlie Worsham opened for that. He's like, oh, he's our music director. And so that got me thinking about music directors and what that is. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. 'Cause it's like, I feel like it's one of those things that like you've heard the term, but you don't necessarily like hear much else about it and like just what that is, what that entails. So I kind of, there wasn't too much online, but I kind of tried to like compile some information on it, and then I figured we can discuss some stuff as well. But
Knowing this kind of stuff too will make you just like, as an independent artist or somebody just starting out, like really making sure that you as yourself are kind of also leading as a music director so that you can like be professional in a room. And it's like, yeah, music is fun, and yeah, it's fun to like goof around, but like if you're showing up to rehearsals and all this stuff and you know things and you're organized and you're like ready to direct your musicians, they're gonna want to show up more because they're like, yeah, we have a lot of fun, but also she knows her shit.
Yeah. Because music directors are definitely something that you wouldn't have right away as an independent artist, but like it's good to know what it is and kind of like think how to have that mindset yourself. Or we'll talk about kind of band leaders being a similar role. And so if it's not you as the artist doing the music directing, but it could also be like the band leader doing that. It just kind of depends on how you run your band and stuff. Like I know sometimes I feel like a lot of the times actually the band leader is not the artist, just because it takes some of the responsibility off of the artist, one, so that way they're more focused on like all the other aspects.
Yeah.
And two, sometimes as a band leader you have to be kind of strict with people and have to kind of just like be businessy, and so that way it just kind of prevents the artist as coming across as an asshole sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. And I was going to say that. Yeah, it's that, and the fact that sometimes it's like we said, the artist is the main boss of all this stuff, and great bosses know how to delegate things. It's like, yeah, it's really great for them to know and do all this stuff, but like, one thing that I think a lot of things get swept under the rug in leadership is the fact that delegation is a good thing, and knowing who has those strengths and weaknesses to delegate a task like this is a great quality to have as a leader. So, and it doesn't mean being lazy and delegating everything, but it's like, it is good to have like specific things done at certain times. So
okay, we'll go into this and see where we want to stop for discussion stuff. The music director's job is to work with you, the artist, to translate your songs into a live set. And especially pop settings where every moment is supposed to be pre-planned and choreographed, a music director is absolutely essential. So you think of like Taylor Swift or Sabrina Carpenter, especially. Did you ever get around to watching the Eras documentary?
Oh my gosh, no. I totally forgot.
Well, they talk about like kind of not just the choreography, but just like all the other things happening on stage and how you have to be making your marks because it's actually a safety thing with like pyro. Particularly of like, you don't want to step in the wrong place at the wrong time because there might be fire coming out of the stage.
Unless you're Harry Styles, and then you do that all the time for some reason.
Or there's a hole opening up in the stage, so you don't want to fall into the hole. And there have been several videos of that happening to people.
Some of that is malfunctions in the stage.
Sometimes is, yeah, because there were videos, not in the documentary, but just like circling online during the Eras tour of like the like just having to change on the fly in the moment with tech issues of like the stage is supposed to move up for both Rep and 1989, but I can't remember which era it was during, but it wouldn't move, so she just kind of was like, okay, we're gonna like walk around the stage some just to have some type of movement going instead of just standing in place and things like that, or like sprinting to the back of the stage because her thing wouldn't go down for her to get changed for the next thing. So but yeah, so the music director would kind of help with all that stuff, and put together the set list with you, plan and even compose transitions between songs if need be, study the stems of your recordings to assess which parts can be played live by which instrumentalists, as well as get in touch with the band members to handle the communication before and during the rehearsals. That's something that kind of overlaps with band leaders as well, as far as like getting all the logistics of like when they're rehearsing and things like that. A good live show involves a lot more than just climbing on stage and playing music. There is a lot of preparation, rehearsing, and arranging required to take a show to a professional level. A music director is one of the main voices that helps the group realize their artistic vision. Musical directors are the glue holding things together, so their ultimate goal is to make sure every part of the show is polished. Duties will be sure to include some of the following: selecting music that will be played and knowing all of the parts, so they have to know every single part of every single song. Arranging music, finding the ideal key for individual songs, because not always are you going to play it in the same key as the studio version, which I think of the like video of Chapel that's like, I can't sing that in the original key, I don't know how other people are doing it, kind of thing. And sometimes it's a day-to-day thing too, I feel like. Because like if
sometimes if
your
you're
voice
sick
is like,
or like
you might have to adjust accordingly. Helping with songwriting, depending on the composition and repertoire of the band, scheduling auditions and rehearsals, preparing budgets, renting/obtaining equipment and gear, and dealing with problems that arise. Music directors bring the skills and knowledge of a producer, arranger, and performing musician together in a single package. While they work in a broad range of situations, they are most frequently hired to prepare a band for a concert or tour. The music director for a solo pop act such as Sabrina Carpenter or Taylor Swift, for example, auditions and selects the touring musicians and backup singers who will support the star, creates and teaches arrangements to the musicians, and shapes the music in rehearsals during the weeks before the performance. In some cases, the music director may even play alongside the musicians, although this is more common for band leaders, which, again, why I kind of overlaps a little bit. And so they must be able to comprehend the artist's vision and have the personal and musical skills to communicate that vision to others and be able to build a deep sense of collegiality among the players in an ensemble. I'm just like that. All the L's were like throwing me off for a second there. With extensive knowledge of music, technology, composition, and performance, musical directors are responsible for shaping every aspect of the performance, from the general, such as the feel or aim of an arrangement, to the specific, like which effects pedals to use during a solo. During the performances, the music director cues entrances and transitions, integrates pre-recorded tracks in the live show, and is the point person for resolving musical, technical, and sometimes personal issues among the band. If a singer decides at 4 p.m. to add a cover tune to that night's set list, it's the job of his or her music director to make sure everyone knows the arrangement by showtime. Other duties may include writing charts, collecting and distributing pay to band members, and overseeing communications among the band. This role has overlap with band leaders, and some responsibilities can fall to one or the other. Auditioning band members and arranging rehearsal schedules may be up to the band leader instead, while music director is more focused on the visual performance aspects of the show, which I don't think I found anything specific about, like, okay, what's the difference between the two, but from my understanding, it's like band leader is going to have more of the technical and logistical things, and music directors like the feel and the visual and just like overall performance aspects.
I'm sure
of it.
it's like, if it like, besides like a musical director having to like speak directly to people, it's probably like the band leader represents like the band as like a whole collective speaking, and like if there's like something quick, they probably are the ones to like talk with the musical director just like from us, and then like it gets just so that like even the musical director who's like looking at the bigger picture doesn't have to like directly say things. But like, if you think about it, a lot of people forget to like choreograph your band, so to speak, too. So a musical director is going to look like, like Paul over there needs to like be moving more and like actually engaging and stuff like that. And I know Paul's also one of Taylor's people.
I was like, Sidoti?
No, it's just the first name I could think of. So like, it's looking at like all of those things like as a whole. I thought about like the charts and all that stuff, but I forgot about like auditioning people and like a lot more of like the technical things of like who does get the cover song stuff ready to go, and like making charts is like a big thing that band leaders and musical. I was thinking too of like making charts is like one thing that band leaders and those kinds of things do, and it's like a skill to have because a lot of people don't do that, or you can get them made. There are people like even in Nashville that like you can hit up and like get them made, but like Christian is always one person that does it, and it's so nice to have at the end of the day. It's like, thank you
Charlie,
for putting that in.
The guy who played bass for New Faces with me, he had asked about like getting chord sheets or whatever, and I was like, you can either have screenshots of the lyric chord sheets, or if you want like Nashville number system, I'm pretty sure Christian has them because all 4 songs are released, so he had to have like done the charting for
I just keep Nashville. I mean, I just keep Christian's in like a folder. I'm like, oh, thank you, Christian, for always having Nashville number chart systems done, because I also have to learn my songs right now for him for New Faces round, because some of them are different than our what I play, because I learned it a certain way when we wrote it, and then like in production it got changed, and I never learned the produced version, so I still play it my way, so I have to like go through and relearn everything. But it's like a conductor, even in like a middle school band, like I always think it's so impressive that, and something no one ever notices, is like when you're going through school and doing all that like things to prepare to be even like a middle school band director, you don't realize that they kind of know how every instrument is played and works, and like every single part goes, and it just like blows my mind, because I'm like, oh, I think it would be so easy to like direct the kids, and like I know music, but then like you have to like know how, and they have like a one specific instrument that is like their instrument in college, but they like also have to look, they could play trumpet their whole lives, but then they go into college, they have to learn every single instrument, which is just like crazy. So like to be able to like, I'm sure if like the drummer just like broke his hand mid song, you have to get up and like start drumming, and maybe you've only played guitar your whole life, but like you have to learn how to do it. Like that's just crazy. Which I guess Christian does too, because Christian plays every single fucking instrument too.
I kind of relied on him in rehearsal of like, I guess technically I'm just kind of my own band leader in the sense for rehearsals and stuff at this point, but like the technical things of sound, I'm like looking at him like, I don't know specifics because I think either Charlie or Kai was asking about like if they did something right, and I'm like, Christian.
Yeah, at this point, I used to
like,
be
it
very
doesn't
much
have to be like note by note the same as the studio version. So I'm just like, it sounded good to me, but also I'm focusing on making sure that I'm doing my part too. So it's like hard because, especially
yeah,
if you're in the band and not like we said, musical directors sometimes play with the band, but more so band leaders usually are always in the band.
mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe that's like a good thing about having both is like the music director isn't focusing on playing an instrument during the song that's
Yeah.
getting rehearsed and can like go and kind of focus on one instrument at a time and move around and like, okay, is the drummer gonna get this fill right before the chorus and things like
I used to very much be our band leader, band director, and like really wanted to be, but now I've surrounded myself with really great musicians who like are so nitty gritty into it that I'm so focused on like what I'm doing and how I'm presenting myself and make that I kind of like leave it up to them to coordinate things. And yeah, again, like kind of leave it up to Christian to like hear the really technical things of like note by note. And I feel a little bad, but also like it makes me want to like again like grow and reach my own levels of things. So like surrounding yourself with great musicians, because I just used to like have people that were good musicians, don't get me wrong, but like definitely like we're there because it was a one-off or we were still very new to everything, and now it's just like they're just really strong musicians. So
and it's also like I feel like at least I feel at the point of where since I'm not doing a lot of full band shows, it's just kind of like the rehearsal is for the sake of like making sure everyone feels comfortable with their parts, and then I'm gonna kind of talk through what I envision for like transitions and stuff. But other than that, like it's mostly a technical rehearsal of just getting notes and stuff, because like we just kind of like we're in Christian studio, we're kind of in a circle-ish setup of everyone playing, and like there's not a whole lot of space. It's not like a stage, so I'm not doing any type of performing practicing. It's solely like, okay, am I coming in at the right time and doing stuff like that? So
I definitely
don't get to rehearse the like, oh, I'm gonna move over here and stuff, but I do it at home by myself. So I still do it ahead of time, but it's definitely a good idea to once you start like doing more shows and stuff too, maybe not necessarily important right now, but it'd be great to have a rehearsal space where you can like set up as if you were on a stage, if not on a stage for rehearsal, and practice the movements of, oh, I'm going to come over here during this part and things like that.
So I was going to say, I used to like rent out a studio space that had like a full mirror and like all the tech and stuff. It's just, it gets expensive, especially when you're not playing consistently like that.
Not.
And we're just like, does everyone feel comfortable? Okay, good. Like, that's all I'm expecting.
That's not all we're doing.
Especially because it's tight little spaces that like they're not getting a chance to move around a lot either within their own confines. Like,
yeah, and because the stage itself at these shows is small.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
So it's just one of those things though that like I really do love being at a space like that to rehearse, but yeah, sometimes you just gotta make do with what you have. So
yeah, because I just like set up mic stand and everything in my living room, and I even like put my phone on the ring light tripod and had the camera facing me so I could watch myself, and was like practicing a little bit of that, like more of the performance aspect alone, but then I can't really do that with the band because there's no room to move.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did practice a little bit of performance, just not with the band. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, just again, having that music director thought of what that is and how to apply it as an independent artist. It's like, again, thinking back to the show I just did in my rehearsal, it's like, I was thinking, okay, so we're going to start with the song. Like, I'm not going to talk before the first song, and then like Sammy play guitar while I'm talking before the next two songs, since both of those songs start with just guitar, so I'm like, just go ahead and like repeat the intro over and over again, just so it's not like silent other than me talking, because I think that definitely adds to things instead of just talking in between songs.
Yeah.
And things like that were
there were
so
little things that like you can learn, and like it's very obvious like who's like been doing things longer or who's been a band a little bit longer, just based on like little things like transitions and like how you're addressing the audience. And you know, one thing I'm really bad about, and it's been a thing, like, is saying I love to say thank you after every song because everyone claps, and I just feel like who knows if that's the only time that they've come, and I hate when people don't say thank you, like, but maybe you're only there for one song, so like I always want to say thank you after every song, but even have gotten some notes, because I've gotten some notes that's like after 3 hours of playing and you say thank you the same way every single time, it's like it gets annoying for those people, but it's also just like, but I hate when people don't say thank you for like a whole hour, and then it's like, because it's like, I just am not the kind of person who wants music just to be a background noise. You know, I want you to like have some interaction. Even when you are background noise, I still like to at least say like something to the audience of like, hey, plus, and also stretch out your time, and then you can get a little break sometimes.
You're still talking, but you're getting a break from singing a little bit. Yeah, and your fingers can rest from the guitar.
Sometimes my fingers need a rest. But I just think it's like, it just is like the care that like, oh, this, it's just something that you also pick up when you're like watching performers too. Like I always take notes of, oh, I really like how they introed that song, or I really like how they transitioned that song. Oh, I really liked that the guitarist and the bassist went over to each other and did that little thing. It's something then like when you start thinking like a musical director, you're going to go to a show and you're going to start picking up on things and then like incorporating it. Like I had texted after I think after the band right before Katie's, and they had a name for the band, I literally texted Christian and Tom, my drummer, and was like, you guys need to name the band or I'm gonna call you guys the Bromance.
Oh, because I forgot his name, the guy that was doing the MCing or whatever, like after I was done, I think he was like, let's give it up again for Katie Fee and the band, and I was like, okay. Yeah, I guess having a band name's a fun thing to do too, but not necessarily. I don't know if everyone does that, because like I can't think of like everyone having a name for their band. Like I don't think Taylor Swift has a name for her band.
No, but I just think it's funny when people do, and it's like,
even if it's not like on the bill, like the People Before is like the whole band name was on the bill. I hate that I'm blanking on the whole name. If you remember it, I don't know, but I feel like it wasn't necessary for like to have a band name.
No, I just think it's a funny thing.
It was kind of weird though how it was like, and the band. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, give it up for them too, but like it just was a weird way to say it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just kind of was like, oh, maybe this is a good thing to start or like make people more aware of, because I had heard the term, but not really exactly what all it entails. And it's definitely a thing to think about when you're doing your own shows, of the little things like you said with the like guitarist and bass going together, or like when I was rehearsing, I'm like, okay, so Christian's gonna be doing a guitar solo in like before the bridge of Midnight Margaritas, I'm gonna kind of like going over to Sammy for the ooze. I should have given her a heads up like more in advance, because I did mention that to Sammy like before the show, and I don't remember if I also mentioned like in Midnight Margaritas going over to her. So then when I did, she was kind of like faced away for the Me and My Girls part of Midnight Margaritas, and I was like, okay, never mind. But yeah, just like being more intentional about like how you're moving on stage and like transitions and things like that, and more like the feel and the visual, and not necessarily the technical stuff, which is also important, but like you kind of want to have all of it. So
right.
And I can't remember who the woman was or what podcast it was, but there was like a TikTok clip of this lady talking about how like performances are like, and I just don't remember much. I don't remember the number, but she gave like a percent of like performances are like mostly visual, And so, like, people are going to be more invested if, like, you're visually appealing on stage. And that doesn't mean, like, you have to, like, look a certain way. It's just more so about, like, confidence and moving and, like, making it interesting.
Yeah.
So that's kind of another thing to think about for this as well. But, yeah. Do you have any other thoughts before we wrap it up? Okay, wrap it up. If you have thoughts, you can send them to themusiclenspodcast@gmail.com or comment them on this episode on our YouTube or I think Spotify as well. You can comment on our socials and follow us there. Keep up with us there at The Music Lens Podcast. Keep up with Alex at Alex Allegra Music. And you can keep up with me at Katie Feet Music on all the things. And see you next time.
Bye.